Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Crypto Capsule Commentary, where I share my point of view on some of the recent developments in the crypto ecosystem. Today, of course, I need to cover the hack of over $600 million of assets that happened in the Axie Infinity ecosystem. I'm going to cover what happened, how did the hack happen, and most importantly, what are the 5 things that I'm watching that you need to know about this hack and its potential impact. Hope you're ready. Here we go. This episode is brought to you by YieldApp, an innovative digital wealth platform that allows both retail and corporate clients to earn passive income at the touch of a button. Earn market-leading rates on some of the world's biggest digital assets, compounding and paid daily. And if you're a corporate client, YieldApp offers a secure treasury for your digital assets, and its dedicated relationship management team is on hand 24/7 to facilitate a stress-free experience. Sign up through the link in the description to receive a $30 bonus. Okay, let's kick it off. So really what happened this week is there was a hack of the Axie Infinity ecosystem. What is Axie Infinity? It's by far one of the biggest games right now that we have. We call it play to earn games in the crypto ecosystem, where basically players can play games and gain assets that they can then actually go and sell to others who want to buy it. Obviously, Axie Infinity has gone a lot of success. They made over $4 billion in NFT sales. They had over $1.2 billion in revenue last year. So obviously it's a big target that was hacked here. So what was hacked? There's about 170,000 ETH that were hacked, about 25 million USDC. And really what was the hack was that there's obviously the Axie Infinity ecosystem that resides on what we call the Ronin Network. And then there's the Ethereum ecosystem, Ethereum blockchain. In between, there's a bridge that links them all, that lets actually people are playing Axie Infinity interact with the Ethereum blockchain. And that was that bridge that was hacked. So really when we talk, it was not really the Ethereum network. It was nothing to do with Axie Infinity, the game. It was this actually Ronin bridge that was hacked. How did the hack happen? It's very, very interesting. This bridge basically had a validator system, which means that in order for a deposit or withdrawal to take place, you need 5 out of 9 validators to approve. What happened here is that actually the hackers were able to access 5 of the validators. 4 of them that were with Sky Mavis, which is a company in Vietnam, based mainly in Vietnam and Singapore, that owns the Axie Infinity game and the ecosystem. And obviously, after having access to these 5 validators, 4 of them belong to Sky Mavis, 1 of them belonged to the Axie DAO. They were able to actually basically just instruct the withdrawal of the funds. The reason that the Sky Mavis had these validator access was basically last year in November 2021 and December 2021, there was a giveaway that was being done. And to make it easier at the time, Axie DAO, which is decentralized autonomous organization, had given to Sky Mavis, this company, the access to be able to make these withdrawals and these giveaways. Unfortunately here, they forgot to remove that access. And that is obviously the core of the problem here. And somebody forgot to do that. And obviously the hackers were able to exploit this problem. When did this happen? This happened on March 23rd. Basically what happened is the hacker withdrew the funds. They actually immediately converted the USDC, the US dollar stablecoin, to ETH. The reason they did that is very simple. Issuers of the USDC can actually freeze a certain account. This is something that all the stablecoin issuers can do. Those are centralized, are able to actually freeze. In this case, the hacker basically moved the USDC to ETH, and then the ETH tried to start laundering it via both centralized exchanges. They were using 3 centralized exchanges according to the data that we have so far, and they were using a number of decentralized exchanges as well, where there's no KYC and AML. Now, what was the other problem here is actually the community, and people heard about this only 5 days later on March 29, when actually the Ronin Network came out and said, hey guys, I think there was a problem here, and that happened 5 days ago, and now we're trying to address it. So the hack happened, the funds are gone. So, this is how it happened. It was actually pretty simple how this was done. Now the big question is, what is the impact? What does this mean? And there's really 5 things that are important to focus here. One of them is actually, yes, this was a big hack. Axie Infinity is one of the big ecosystems out there, but it's actually a tragedy. But the reason being, a lot of people that were playing this play to earn games, not only were younger, a lot of teenagers were playing this, but a lot of them were based in developing countries, especially the Philippines and countries like Venezuela. Especially during COVID, a lot of people started making a living by playing these games and then being able to sell these assets. This is why I think from the victim perspective, a disproportionately high amount of the people who are victims of this reside in countries like Philippines or other emerging markets. And many of them have already come out publicly saying that they lost all their life assets, they had put all their savings in this. I think it's a very tragic way for many people who can afford it the least now have become one of the biggest victims of this hack. Second thing to watch is that this reinforces once again that hacking is still a problem in crypto. Let's not forget, last year there was about $3.2 billion of assets that were hacked. The vast majority of that, about 2.2 billion of the 3.2 billion, were in DeFi ecosystems. But there was about like $500 million that were in other mediums like platforms like that were hacked this week. And I expect basically this number to go up. Basically, this hack alone is bigger than the entire amounts of hacks that happened in such bridges and others last year. Again, let's not forget, crypto crime is still very, very small in the broader crypto ecosystem. Less than 0.15% of crypto transactions are linked to illicit addresses. So again, it's still a very small percentage. But again, it's still obviously something that we want to try to stop as much as we can. So number 3, this I think is going to bring a lot of attention on bridges. What are bridges is literally bridge between two different crypto ecosystems. In this case, it was a Ronin Network, the Ethereum ecosystem. And the problem is this happens literally only a couple of weeks after another big hack that happened literally in February of this year, where the wormhole hack, which is basically kind of another bridge that was linked to the Solana ecosystem, which is another layer 1, was hacked. In that case, what happened, there was over $300 million that was stolen. But what happened, one of the big crypto trading firms, Jump Trading, came in and basically gave about 120,000 ETH to keep the system on its feet. In this case, in the wormhole case, there was this white knight that came. I doubt there will be one that will come up for Axie Infinity. So I think that's one of the things to remember is that, again, this is going to bring just more attention on bridges and whether they're secure, what is their real purpose. And I think we'll draw a lot of attention on it, especially on the 4th topic, which is the governance topic. Again, here from the data that we have today, there was obviously a problem when it comes to governance, problem with controls, procedures and processes. And if those things were in place, the problems that we have could have been avoided. This is one area actually where the crypto ecosystem can learn a lot from a traditional business world. In the traditional business world, especially in finance or technology, we have things like ISO certifications, SOC certifications, SOC 1, SOC 2, for example. And there's a lot of expertise in this world, in the traditional world, on how you put the right controls, what are the right processes, the right procedures, what are the right checking mechanisms, what we call the 4i checks and the likes. And I think this is something that I hope following this hack, we're going to have more and more crypto ecosystems who are going to pay attention to this kind of governance of their ecosystem, especially when it comes to security. Here from the data that we have today, it doesn't look like there was a hack, there was a bug in the smart contract. It looks more, it was kind of what Ronin Network themselves called social engineering, but I think it was more of kind of problem when it comes to how the broader governance was rather than how the smart contract was actually coded. Which brings to my last point, which is the laundering effect, the laundering impact. Obviously, the hacker here ran away with $600 million plus of assets. The big question now is, can they actually launder that proceeds to be able to use it? The short answer is, although they've already started laundering it, it's going to be very, very difficult for the hacker to launder definitely the majority of these assets. A good example of this is actually what happened late last year, where there was another big hack of what we call the Poly network, where the hacker, again, stole $600 million of assets, but literally had to return the proceeds. Why? Because it was pretty much impossible for him to be able to hack this amount. Here, I think it's very interesting. There's so much attention now on the wallet. Everybody can see the assets that are stolen. Everybody can see it there. It's on the Ethereum blockchain. All the exchanges pretty much have blocked this wallet. There's a lot of now traceability tools they're going to be laser focused on the movements of this wallet. It's going to be very, very difficult now for the hackers to launder the proceeds. This is why, and I'll finish it with this. I think there's a chance here. I would put about 25% chance that the hacker decides to actually return the proceeds, return the funds, when they realize that it's pretty much impossible to launder it. Again, very similar to what happened with the Poly network hacker last year. And it'll be interesting to see if that happens. If that doesn't happen, I think, unfortunately, these assets now are going to be lost for good, potentially, or they'll be there for a long time. So, guys, let's keep an eye on this. This is definitely something to keep an eye on over the next couple of days and weeks. Thank you very much, everybody, and see you all soon for another episode of Crypto Capsule Commentary. See you guys soon.